Have you ever wondered how a young orphan with nothing but a needle and thread built an empire that would forever change the world of fashion? This is not just the story of a designer. This is the story of a revolution. The story of a woman who refused to be defined by poverty, by men, or by the times she lived in. This is the story of Gabrielle Coco Chanel. Gabrielle Bonheur Chanel was born on August 19, 1883, in Saumur, France. Her early life was far from the glamour we associate with her name today. Her parents were poor. Her father was a traveling peddler. Her mother worked hard but was frail. When Gabrielle was only 12, her mother died from illness. Her father, unable or unwilling to care for his children, abandoned them. Gabrielle and her sisters were sent to a cold gray orphanage run by Catholic nuns. The orphanage at Aubazine was a world of strict discipline and quiet sorrow. The sound of prayers filled the stone halls. The smell of soap and mended fabric hung in the air. It was here that Gabrielle first learned to sew. The nuns taught her the skill as a way to earn a decent living. They said, "For a decent life, Gabrielle." But Gabrielle did not want a decent life. She wanted something more, something bold, something free. Every stitch she made became a silent scream against the life she had been given. Each thread a spark of resistance. With small hands and a rebellious soul, she was sewing her own destiny. When she left the orphanage at 18, Gabrielle worked as a seamstress by day and sang in cabarets by night. At the Anne music halls of Milan, she performed a song called Qui Coup of Vous Coco, a playful tune that earned her the nickname Coco. Some say she disliked the name at first. Others say she wore it like armor. Either way, Coco Chanel was born. In these years, she met wealthy officers and businessmen. Among them was Etienne Balsan, a man who introduced her to a world of horses, racing, and high society. Through Balsan, she met Arthur Boy Capel, a man who became her great love and patron. With Capel's encouragement, Coco began to sell hats. In 1910, she opened her first shop, Chanel Modes, at 21 Rue Cambon in Paris. At the time, women's fashion was ruled by corsets, feathers, and excess. Coco offered something different. Simple, elegant, liberating. Her hats were stripped of heavy decorations. They framed a woman's face instead of hiding it. High society women took notice. Each hat sold was more than a piece of fashion. It was a step toward independence. A stitch closer to the woman Coco was born to become. They laughed at her at first, a woman with her own shop. Absurd. The daughter of a peddler, daring to be a designer. Impossible, but Coco ignored the sneers. She worked with a quiet ferocity. She cut her hair short when all women wore it long. People whispered, "She looks like a boy." Coco replied, "I look like myself." She wore men's trousers to ride horses. She removed corsets from dresses. She gave women freedom of movement. She gave them confidence. By the 1920s, Chanel was no longer just a name. It was a revolution. She introduced the little black dress, transforming a color of mourning into the symbol of modern elegance. She popularized jersey fabric, once used only for men's underwear, and turned it into chic daywear. Her designs were simple, clean, and timeless. Her clothes allowed women to breathe, to walk, to live. In every stitch, there was defiance. In every seam, there was independence. Then came the fragrance. In 1921, Coco launched a perfume that would become the most iconic scent in the world, Chanel No. 5. Unlike the single-note floral perfumes of the time, Chanel No. 5 was complex, daring, unforgettable. Coco described it as a fragrance for a woman who smells like a woman, not a flower. The perfume became an instant success and remains a global symbol of luxury to this day. But empires are never built without struggle. The First World War forced her to close shops and improvise. The Second World War brought even greater trials. During the Nazi occupation of Paris, Coco shut down her fashion house. Whispers followed her. Rumors of relationships with German officers, accusations of collaboration. many believed her career was finished. They said Chanel was over. History. Yet Coco Chanel was not a woman who accepted endings. After years in exile, she returned to Paris in 1954 at the age of 70. Critics mocked her comeback. They said her time had passed. But when models walked the runway in her signature suits, her clean lines, her quilted handbags, the world remembered why she mattered. The young generation embraced her style. Her empire rose once again. Behind the elegance, Coco's life remained complex. She loved deeply, but never married. She guarded her past fiercely, often rewriting it to protect her image. She was ambitious, sometimes ruthless, always unapologetic. Yet her influence was undeniable. She freed women from the cage of fashion. She showed that elegance could be comfortable. She built a brand that outlived her, a legacy stitched by hand, bold and untamed. Coco once said, "My life did not please me, so I created my life." And she did. From an orphanage bed to the heights of Parisian society, she proved that destiny is not given, it is made. She turned tragedy into triumph. She transformed survival into art. She made courage her signature scent. If Gabrielle Chanel could speak to the little girl sewing in the orphanage, she might say this: "Do not let the mud you were born in stop you from blooming. The strongest flowers rise from the ruins. Every needle can pierce the fabric of fate. Every stitch can rewrite the story." Today, the Double C logo stands as more than a mark of fashion. It is a symbol of resilience. A reminder that greatness can emerge from the humblest beginnings. Chanel No. 5 may be the fragrance the world knows, but the true scent of Coco Chanel was courage. Courage that smelled of resistance, of scars, of survival. This is the spark of empire. A spark that began with a needle and a dream. A spark that burned through poverty, through war, through scandal, until it lit the world of fashion on fire. At Empire Sparks, we believe empires are not only built with wealth, they're built with defiance, with vision, with the refusal to accept limits. Coco Chanel showed us that an empire can begin with nothing but determination and a single skill. She turned stitches into a global dynasty. Let her story ignite something in you. Whatever your beginning, whatever your scars, you can sew your own destiny. You can rewrite your future. You can build your own empire. If you were inspired by the story of Coco Chanel, like this video, subscribe to Empire Sparks, and share this message with someone who needs to hear it today. Remember, the strongest empires rise not from comfort, but from courage. What will you create with the thread of your life?